New York Yankees have made a lot of deals since the last time we talked about the New York Yankees. And obviously, I think the last time we talked about them was the departure of Juan Soto and what would be the pivot, what would be the next move. They went out and they got Max Fried, which was a great deal. I can't remember if I made a video on that. 8 years, 218, a little more than I thought, but this is a guy that I think is really good, really underrated in the MLB and really underrated in the market. I think they got a good deal on that. I would have gave him 10 years if you had to. I think ultimately that was the right move, the right play at the right time. After that, I was going to make another video on what do the Yankees do next? What is their next move? What else are they going to do? I think they're going to do more. I was going to make a video like that, and literally right before I was going to record it, they traded for Devin Williams. And I was shocked. And I know that move was rumored a little bit, but I was shocked because it seemed like the Brewers didn't want to get rid of Devin Williams, which is very, very similar to when they traded Josh Hader to the Padres at the deadline and still made the playoffs with Devin Williams. It seems like they're doing the same thing because the owners over there in Milwaukee, they don't really care about a World Series. They just want to get to the playoffs, collect some money, and walk away with a profit every season. And some people say that is what's wrong with baseball, but you can't tell an owner how to run a business. You know what I mean? So that's ultimately what they did. They traded for Devin Williams. They acquired Devin Williams. They gave up Nestor Cortez, which is now expendable because you picked up Max Fried, and I think a lot of people kind of want him out the door after what happened in the World Series, even though I think that's more Aaron Boone's fault than it is Nestor Cortez's fault. But you also gave up Connor Newman, who was a star in the minor leagues this year. You gave up him. I don't think that's the biggest of deals personally. Some people that really are dive deep into prospects might, but he's a short 5'6" guy that can play everywhere in the infield. I think we needed the bullpen. We had to strengthen the bullpen. We lost Clay Holmes. This is a clear upgrade in Devin Williams. I think it was the right play. After that, I was going to make another video on what the Yankees were going to do next because there's no way they were done. There was going to be more moves to do, and I literally was going to record this video, and they got Cody Bellinger. And I look at this Cody Bellinger deal, and I think, you gave up Cody Petit, and you got Cody Bellinger. Why wasn't this deal done weeks ago? Why wasn't this deal done weeks ago? And it shows me that the Yankees were desperately trying to get the Cubs to pay for that contract. They wanted the Cubs to pay for more of that contract, clearly. And they ended up getting the Cubs to pay for $5 million of this contract in exchange for Cody Petit and take Cody Bellinger. I think a lot of Cubs fans are going to be confused by this move because you acquired Kyle Tucker and now you acquired Cody Bellinger. I mean, you thought you were going to have Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger, and now Cody Bellinger's on the outs, is leaving, right? And you lost Isaac Paredes, so what are the Cubs exactly doing over there? I think it's all a salary dump here. That's what the Cubs are doing, all a salary dump, and they dump Cody Bellinger's contract, a big majority of it, onto the New York Yankees. So we'll see what happens here. And now that brings us here, today, right now in this moment. What is the Yankees' next deal? Because they are not done. I could sit here and say this confidently that the Yankees will make another move at some point soon in this deadline. And obviously it's going to be first base. Now the report is that the first base market is too high right now. That's why no first baseman have been signed. Peter Alonso hasn't been signed. Christian Walker hasn't been signed. I mean, you go down the list to Carlos Santana hasn't been signed. These guys want too much money than the teams are willing to pay right now, and they're going to wait it out. And we might have to wait a while here before a first baseman gets signed to a team. Here's the thing. I saw a report saying that Anthony Santander might get signed to the Yankees and play first base. You also have Cody Bellinger, who could also play first base. So I think that could work realistically. Realistically, you're spending more money because I think a Santander is going to want 4 years, 80 mil, 5 years, 100, something like that, something in that range. Whereas you can get a Christian Walker for maybe 2 years, 33, 2 years, 35, something like that in that range. I'd rather have Christian Walker just because I think he's a certified elite gold glove, and you need that right now. A certified elite gold glove you need at first base. I think he's better than Pete Alonso, in my opinion. I think he's better than Pete Alonso. And Pete Alonso is going to want at least $20 million. He's going to want to get paid more than Christian Walker. I don't think he deserves it at all. And Christian Walker rakes against lefties. Rakes against lefties. I like Christian Walker. And I don't know what the hell Pete Alonso is doing because This is a guy that turned down 5 years, $120 million for the Mets. It was like 5/120 or 5/125. Something around that lines is what the Mets offered Pete Alonso a couple years ago. He said no. Now he's going to sit here at free agency. He'll be lucky if he makes $18 million a year. Kind of a tough spot for Pete, and I don't know, you might feel disrespected by the market. Both first basemen might feel disrespected by this market right now. Can there be anything else besides first base? I think there can be, and I think there's two guys right now in the outfield that are not being talked about enough that could be signed by the New York Yankees. One is Jurickson Profar, who had a monster breakout season last year with the Padres. I think he could find his way on a different team by the end of this free agency. And I look at the Yankees, and I think this is a guy you should want on your team. You should try to sign on your team. I don't know if it's going to work out contractually with your $300 million you want to spend under that, especially now acquiring Cody Bellinger. But I think that's a guy that you can get on a pretty good deal because it seems like there's not that much interest in this guy. And let me bring up another name. They talked about it today on LMB Network. What about a guy in Jock Peterson? Okay, if you can get him on a 1 year, $8 to $10 million deal, I don't know why you don't just bring him in and take a chance on Jock Peterson, right? I know it's tough because you have Stanton, and Peterson's kind of a Stanton where you're going to have to play him in left field and be scared or DH him, right? And you already have Stanton, but Stanton's going to get injured at some point in the season. But if you can take a 1 year flyer on him, I don't see why you don't. Because he'll just replace Verdugo. He'll give some help to Dominguez. He can hit balls out of that park in right field very easily. I think that's another move the Yankees can go if they don't land a Profar, if they need another outfielder, if they don't re-sign Verdugo. What I don't want to happen is the re-signing of Gleyber Torres. I don't really want to see that guy in the Yankees uniform again. I think the time is over, the time has run, the time is done. And I expect the team to be some kind of version of Volpe, Jazz, Christian Walker. The third base role will be split from Cabrera, maybe Peraza, maybe LeMahieu if he comes back. I like a Gio Urshela maybe to plug in right there. I think that can make sense, but that's ultimately what the infield should be. The outfield then should be Judge, Bellinger, and your left fielder even Dominguez, or maybe you sign a Jock Peterson to help out off the bench, and then you got Grisham. That to me looks like the team. They added two major arms in Max Fried and Devin Williams. Ultimately, my name's Josh Wissey. If you like sports videos, I promise this is the channel for you. So please hit the subscribe button. Show me a little circle icon somewhere on the screen. Go watch these videos that YouTube recommends. My name's Josh Wissey. Thank you.